I love the word transition because everyone is always in transition, and when you think about it, that means we all have a lot in common. My name is Anthony Doubek. I am a senior here at UWSP, and for the past few years I have been highly involved in the Gender and Sexuality Alliance. This year I'm actually the president. And my sophomore year of college I came out as transgender, right around the time I was getting really involved with GSA. I was always a tomboy. I hated dresses. I always played the boy role when we were role-playing games in the backyard, which I was always totally okay with. It took me a really long time to realize what these different feelings were. It actually took me until my sophomore year of college to understand that this difference wasn't imagined. You know, I liked women. I was born female, but I felt very masculine, and it wasn't until my sophomore year that I realized that that meant I was trans. I had never had the vocabulary to even understand what that meant. For me, until that time, trans meant a drag queen to me, and that college really opened my eyes to a lot of different things, and it was at that point that I was able to come out as trans. It had a really huge impact on my life. You know, a kid who didn't have a lot of friends, who always felt really different. I always felt like the black sheep in my family. Having this person that I could really identify with shaped me a lot, but it also shaped my political views a lot. Harry Potter taught a lot about acceptance and being different, but you know, Harry Potter was also my first introduction to grassroots organizing and resistance in different forms. But once middle school started, a lot of the thoughts that I have had of wanting to be a boy kind of flew out the window the same day that my Hogwarts letter expectations went out the window, because that just wasn't happening. I was a huge slacker in high school. I did not give two shits about school. None of it seemed to be relevant to me because I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to do things that I didn't feel high school was preparing me for. When I was a kid, it didn't seem like it mattered at all. Like, why does history matter right now? I want to go do music and write and stuff like that. And now I realize it actually matters a lot in context of things. If you're writing about Mozart or Beethoven, you need the context of what was going on in their lives historically. When I came out as trans, I became really, really involved in activism, and really wanted to try and make a difference in the world, trying to make it easier for other people who were trans or queer to come out and be in a world that accepted them a little bit more. So I switched over to political science at that time, and now I am working as an activist every day. I write a blog about the activism I do called Boxers and Binders. I also am starting to apply for jobs as an organizer, working in the progressive movement. School was pretty interesting. Most of my teachers were really chill with it. They all really had been safe zone trained, it didn't really faze them. I had one teacher who was just kind of not sure what to do with me, but we didn't get along that well anyway, so I wasn't too concerned about it. Most of my friends were just kind of like, well, yeah, duh, like we've known for a while. It wasn't a shock to a lot of my friends. My family, it was a little different. My parents were really shocked. They weren't really sure what to do. I was the only daughter in the family. My mom had a really hard time with it. I suspect my dad did too, but he was always really supportive. And my family really surprised me in the fact that they were all really supportive. So I was very lucky. I got a lot stronger. I was able to weightlift a lot more effectively, and that was pretty cool. I got more energy. My sex drive went up, which was interesting. I basically went through the stages of a teenage boy. I have acne. I eat like a teenage boy. And it's a little bit nuts. My body will still kind of be in flux with these hormones until I have my ovaries removed, because my ovaries are still trying to produce estrogen and female hormones while I'm fighting it off with testosterone. So eventually I do plan on having a hysterectomy, just to kind of stable out my body. I mean, it's also really detrimental to your body if you keep your ovaries when you're on testosterone. It can really put your body physically at war with itself. But then I had surgery on December 30th. The surgeon was out of Lake Forest, Illinois, and he had a lot of experience with this. He had a really cool procedure. He basically made 2 incisions and removed the fat that was there, and then he made a cut up and basically just threaded the nipple through so that it would still remain intact with its nerve endings. I got home, I had drains in my chest. There were 2 drains here, and they connected to tubes that were letting the fluids leak out. That lasted for a few days, then the drains were removed, and slowly just the healing process started, and now I'm able to go back to the gym and be fully active again, which is really nice. So that's basically my transition right there. I consider myself to be fully transitioned now. I see myself just honestly having a normal life. It'll just be that my job is a little more interesting and a lot more time consuming than other jobs, I guess. Yeah, I look forward to it. I'd use this quote from Leslie Feinberg, who's author of Stone Butch Blues. I love the word transition because everyone is always in transition, and when you think about it, that means we all have a lot in common.